For as long as she could remember, Asteris had watched the cosmos from her crystalline tower aboard the Vale's Empress Arkansas. Her people, the Valari, were wanderers among the galaxies, beings of radiant light and delicate glass-like forms, obsessed with mapping every stellar nursery and black hole. They cared only for the great endless sea of stars, viewing planets as crude stepping stones, dirty and temporary. Asteris embodied that devotion more than any other. Her mind was a galaxy chart in motion, nebulae whispered to her in her sleep, and supernovae haunted her waking thoughts. Every breath she took, she longed for the next star system, the next great swirl of cosmic fire. On her 30th passage day, she was declared a star seer, the highest honor among the Valari. She thought she had everything she could ever want, infinity at her fingertips. Then came the human ship, the Wayfarer, limping through her sector. Its hull was pitted and scarred, its signal weak. The Valari should have ignored it. They always ignored ground-born species. But some sudden pull in Asteris's chest, made her respond. She arranged for the human ship to dock at the Ark. From the moment he stepped onto her vessel, covered in soot and sweat, he was out of place. His name was Jack. A gardener, he explained awkwardly, trying to brush soil from his jacket as if it were an unforgivable stain. A gardener, in the void of space. The very idea made the Valari elders shiver in disgust. But not Asteris. She watched him curiously, fascinated by his hands, coarse, strong, not designed to manipulate star maps or crystal threads. Instead, they cradled life, small and green and fleeting. When he spoke of Earth, his voice trembled with a love she didn't understand. He described rain on petals, moss-covered stones, the smell of freshly turned soil, fireflies dancing under moonlight. Asteris listened politely at first, assuming he would grow silent soon enough, that he would learn the cold serenity of the stars. Yet each time he spoke, her mind flared with colors she had never charted. His words painted visions more vivid than even the most explosive supernova. One night, she asked him to show her what a flower really looked like. Without hesitation, Jack retrieved a small case from his pack. Inside lay a single violet, slightly wilted but still clinging to life. "This," he said, voice hushed as if revealing a secret of the universe. "This is a piece of home." Asteris hovered over it, trembling. The violet wasn't perfect or symmetrical like a star cluster. Its colors weren't uniform. Its edges were flawed. But there was something in it, a warmth that filled the hollowness inside her, something that felt closer than any star ever had. After that, she found herself seeking Jack out during long watch cycles. He told her stories of gentle spring mornings, of rough laughter shared over muddy hands, of silent afternoons when the only sound was the hum of bees. She thought it would disgust her. Instead, it felt like air after a lifetime in vacuum. The Valari elders noticed her distraction, of course. They summoned her, demanded she abandon the human's company, reminded her she had been born to read the dance of galaxies, not to concern herself with soil-locked illusions. Asteris stood silently through their condemnation. When she returned to her chambers, she found Jack waiting with a small pot. Inside, a tiny green sprout curled toward an artificial lamp. "It's not much," he said, almost embarrassed, "but it's something to start with." She stared at the sprout for what felt like hours, realizing that for the first time, she wanted to touch something real, not just trace data on a screen. Hesitantly, she reached out and placed her luminous fingers on the soil. It felt alive, complex, humble. She felt warmth bloom through her entire being, and for the first time since she had been born among cold stars, she wept. When she looked up, Jack was smiling, not the polite, distant smile of the Valari, but a messy, genuine one. "Come with me," he said softly. "I'll show you where that feeling never ends." In that moment, Asteris realized that she had spent her whole life searching for infinity among distant lights, never knowing that true infinity might live in a single fragile bloom, in the hush of dawn mist, in the closeness of a human heart. She chose to leave. The Valari disowned her, calling her corrupted, lost to the mud of a lesser species. But Asteris felt no regret as she boarded Jack's ship, carrying the tiny sprout in her hands like a newborn star. When they landed on Earth, she stepped into a forest clearing at sunrise. Dew glistened on leaves, birds called out in shy greetings, and petals shivered open to the first warmth of the day. Asteris fell to her knees, overwhelmed. Jack knelt beside her, his hand resting over hers in the soil. She looked at him, eyes shimmering with all the galaxies she had abandoned, and all the worlds she had just discovered. She had dreamed only of stars, for as long as she could remember. But in that small garden clearing, among moss and morning glimmers, she finally understood what it meant to live. Asterisk turned her gaze to Jack, her voice breaking as she whispered, "Show me everything." And he did.